Yeah, they used the Pickering, case law, and there were a few others, It basically said that I was off duty talking about things of public concern. One of the things that really helped me was there was no disruption. Nobody went down to the city and rioted. Nobody, this public, didn't put any pressure on the department where the other officers could not function. They tried to say that there was a disruption, and at fact finding and a deposition, we come to find out that their so called disruption was a total of three people who were protesting against me.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those common misconceptions that I see a lot of law enforcement agencies do now today is they try to claim that discomfort or people's opposition to your opinion is the disruption, but that is not what the Pickering standard actually requires. It requires there be a material disruption to the operation of the police department. As in the department cannot function if you continue to speak the way you're speaking. And barring that, it's just a ridiculous claim in an attempt to suppress people's freedoms. It seems to me to be a weird power and control thing. And I think you are caught up in a political climate, but it happens at other departments too, where it's just a personal preference. People are opposed to that opinion or they're opposed to that viewpoint. And then I think that's one of the things that we have to kind of raise the alarm as both police officers, but as regular Americans too, that's not acceptable to do to any really employee. It shouldn't be anyway.
Yeah, and the bottom line, a lot of this stuff comes down to ego. If they put their ego aside, they wouldn't get in so much trouble. But when you challenge an administration, they don't want to ever admit they're wrong, and it's not their money. And they also are betting that you are not going to take them to court.
Yeah. So, you get this attorney. Does this, I know you touched on it a minute ago, but does this cost you a ton of money up front or in the end? Or how does this financially work out for you besides the settlement? How does this financially work out for you as like having to fund this legal battle?
So I had I had to file the filing fees, which cost me $650. That's all that cost me up front. The first attorney I had, so I had my labor attorney with me the whole entire time, Mark Kilburn. And then my first attorney that was going to do the federal case, he had to actually uh, take off to go to a different state because he had some family problems. But I picked up a second attorney by the name of Caleb Mason out of Los Angeles, very good defense attorney. He is advertising in Police One, and that's how I learned of him, reached out to him, and he came on pretty quickly. And to answer your question, these guys were all going to do it basically conditional of a win. But they believed in my case so much that they were willing to provide their services because they knew there was going to be a win and they were going to be able to collect their attorney's fees. But when you get in one of these situations, what the city or the municipality has to deal with is if you win, they have to pay for all the attorney's fees and the punitive damages and all your other damages that go along with it and all the court fees.